Welcome to the Leadership with Biana Kovic Show, and thank you for being with us. Our topic, leadership, focuses on leaders such as yourselves. We believe that leadership is a skill that can be learned through practice and awareness. It is our hope that our conversation will help you become more reflective when it comes to your own leadership practices and enable you to leave a positive legacy. Our very special guest is Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi. Dr. Ruby is an award-winning international inspirational speaker, Vice President of Women Empowerment and Development for Global Goodwill Ambassadors, Founder President of Réseau Interculturel des Femmes, a sociocultural network for women. Dr. Ruby is also a chairperson for All Ladies League, ambassador, Female Wave of Change, TEDx speaker, charismatic educationist in private universities in Switzerland, and an emotional intelligence trainer. Dr. Ruby is a speaker and ambassador for LinkedIn for a Woman campaign. Professor Ruby, welcome to the show.
Hi, Biana. Thank you so much for inviting me for this show. I'm really excited and looking forward to it.
I'm very excited to have you on my show. You are a professor in business universities in Switzerland. And I was wondering if you can tell us a little bit about what you do and how did you start on that path?
Well, it's been a wonderful journey in Switzerland. I started my career as a principal of a college in India, in the city of Lucknow, where I come from. And then I got married and I was here in the beautiful city of Switzerland. So it was not a very easy journey to establish myself as a professor here, because working in a male-dominated environment, which is business, it took me quite some time to be what I am today after consistently working over it.
One thing that comes to my mind is inclusion, because obviously you came from a different country. And as you mentioned, it took you a while to be included in a society that you are currently living in. Can you talk to us a little bit about that journey and what tools did you use to be included in the society and to integrate yourself in the society?
Well, the time I came here, it was a little difficult because the first thing that I faced here was a cultural shock. Coming from India, it was not very easy because in India, the teachers or the professors, they are like demigod. For students, they are like worshipped, and there's a physical distance between teacher and taught. And I come to a country where everyone is kind of cool. You know, everyone is at the same level. The distance between the teachers as well as the students is almost like a buddy relationship. So in the beginning, yes, I was struggling with first to establish myself as a known lecturer. And the second thing which I was facing was the shock which culture had given me in terms of adapting to understand how is it over here, what I need to do to be a part, to be in. It was not very easy, but I constantly work on it and I was consistently trying to see what they are doing, what is different, and what I need to do to be like the way it is accepted here. So to be integrated in the system, you had to work on it practically every day. And it took me almost 9 to 11, 12 months to get adjusted what is expected and what I need to do to be the part of the system.
So what you're saying to us, you had to become very culturally sensitive.
Yes, first was the language, but thankfully in teaching, I was using English as the medium of instruction. So it was not really something very difficult. But of course, in the staff room or with some of the students or with the local people, it was just French. So I was struggling with the language as well, because to be part of any country's language is one of the main ingredients to become a part of the people and integrate very well. And French being a language which is not the same as you speak, as you write, it was quite difficult to make it sound very easy and be a part of the system. So yes, I had my days of struggle between home, then work, as well as the society around.
So it's interesting. It seems to me that it was a quite interesting learning experience for you.
Oh, yes. I thought I'm going from India to Switzerland, so life is going to be changing completely. It's going to be awesome. But in the beginning, yes, it was awesome in terms of beauty and, I getting to know my husband because we had just got married and I had come here just after 3 days of my wedding. So I thought it's going to be very interesting knowing the new place, new people, new culture. But when I actually ended up coming here, I had to adjust a lot. I had to compromise in a lot of situations because India, there are lots and lots of people. People are very different. The nature is very different. Everyone is talking to you at the drop of hat. Whereas here, people are a bit reserved and they don't talk to you instantly. They will not just welcome you with open arms. The culture is a bit different. Swiss people, they're very nice. but they take their own time to know you, to understand you. And once they know you, then you are like a part of the family. So that's why it was a little bit difficult in the beginning, because I wasn't used to do the things at home or buy grocery or drive. But over the years, I started enjoying and I started becoming more and more comfortable. And I thought it's a learning process. I need to adapt, and to be successful, to move forward, it's better to do the task. Whether you succeed or you fail, you do it instead of cribbing and wasting time. So I just took the things as they came, learned a lot of things, and moved on.
And this is actually a perfect segue because you are an expert in performance management. Can you talk to us a little bit about performance management and how one can implement that in a daily work or business, or even when it moves to another country like you did?
Performance management is something that you learn by doing. Nothing is easy or nothing goes by the rule of the book. The success lies how you implement it, not just by reading, but actually doing it. So the more you do, the more you see, the more you implement whatever you have learned via books or via observation or via watching, the more you will be able to perform better. It's not something that you take it with a pinch of salt and try it and it will be successful. You need to work on it day to day with your plus and minus. That is, maybe some days you're successful and people notice that you have done so well. But there might be certain days that even if you are the best performer, you did your best job, but you don't get any recognition. So that should not emotionally put you down. You have to be emotionally intelligent to understand that, yes, I was not noticed this time, but I know I'm doing well. You should keep on going. And the more you perform, the more you are able to excel in that particular field. And the more you will be noticed, and people will just start thinking of you or talking of you in the rightful manner.
So you're talking about something which we in music, I come from a musical background, call persistence and perseverance. And it seems to me that in your case, if you persist and persevere and stay emotionally neutral to ups and downs, you can move faster.
Yes, exactly.
So how does one stay emotionally neutral when you're constantly getting feedbacks from others?
Well, as a person, you have to understand you can't make everyone happy. So listen to the feedback, because that's the way you will understand what are your plus and minus. But at the same time, if you see that it is really having an impact, like if someone is constantly giving you a negative feedback about something which you don't want to listen or which you are not ready to listen, just keep your calm. You should not react, because sometimes what happens is the moment we hear something negative, our body reacts to it. We don't like it. We are angry. We show it by saying bad words or by refusing it, by negating it. You shouldn't react. Listen to both kinds of feedbacks, whether positive or negative, and try to absorb it. And thereafter, you see if lots and lots of people are saying the same thing, which is negative, then you need to work over it. Because what happens is when it's negative feedback, either you get angry or you think, oh, no, it's not me. The person doesn't like me. That's why she's saying that. You start reacting. You start finding excuses for negating that thing. So in that area, I think emotions have to be under control. And when I say under control, it is just keep taking. And don't show your reaction to the people, because the moment you show the reaction, the other person will also react and it goes to other direction. Then you're not finding the solutions to the problem or the negativity that you had. You start going in other direction, which can lead to something that you're not even prepared for.
So we have to have a lot of self-control.
Yes, exactly. You have to have a lot of self-control. You have to have a lot of resilience to listen to it, negative or positive, and just work on it every day.
So are you saying to us, Professor Ruby, that sometimes negative feedback is an accurate feedback and it's actually an accurate description of what you're not doing well?
Yes, absolutely. You might be doing something thinking you're doing fine, but unless and until there's nobody who's giving you the right information. I'll give you a very silly example. If you tell a beautiful woman, hi, beautiful, you look gorgeous, that will bring a smile on her face and she'll be happy. But if you tell a person, oh my God, you look so ugly, you look so fat, that person is not going to like it because you're saying something which is negative. So it takes a lot of courage for people to say something negative to other person, even if you're trying to help the other person. So in this situation, if someone is saying something which is negative, you need to work on it instead of feeling bad or instead of ignoring it. It's better you work on it and try to see why did that person say something like that. But don't ponder so much that you start becoming depressed or you start going completely negative. But just try to find a reason. Why did that other person comment like that? Was it this? Was it that? Do self-analysis. And once you do that, you're going to be at peace because you will find a solution and emerge a better person.
So use feedback for your own self-reflection and create your own steps to emerge and become a better person.
Exactly. Because you know yourself the best. What others are seeing, that could be sometimes not real. And only you can help yourself. No one else can. Others can just tell you things, but they don't know how you actually are inside. So you need to take steps. You need to take measures to help yourself first. Because if you help yourself first, you emerge a better person. And then you can help others also.
And it seems to me, it's like a lot of people are talking about being kind to yourself, accepting of who you are at this current moment.
I completely agree with this notion that you have to accept who you are as a real person. Because as it is these days, everything is kind of becoming virtual because you have a solution for everything. So we need to accept ourselves with our flaws, with our beautiful points, with our negative points, whatever we are. And same with our friends also. Because if we look for perfection, it exists in the dictionary, but it doesn't really exist in real life. So if we accept people the way they are, automatically you will have less conflicts. Automatically you will have less expectations. Because when we are not able to accept some people, when we always say, oh, I wish I was like that. I wish I was this. So the wishes keep on multiplying. There's no end to it. So that's why we have to be okay with whatever thing it is, whether it's about beauty, whether it's about speaking, whether it's about anything. We have to accept it if we are not perfect at it, because perfection, they don't really exist in the real world. We have to make it. We have to work on it. Because if you feel I'm the best speaker, then what next? There's no challenge. There's no other step that you can climb upon. But if you feel I'm a good speaker, I'm working on it, I'm getting better day by day, then you will always look for challenges and you will work on it. You'll keep on improving. So that's why to motivate yourself, to push yourself to the next level, it's important to feel you are gradually moving on to that area.
And recognizing that you're always growing.
Because if you feel that you're already there, then it's not motivating you. It's not taking you anywhere. And if you feel you take those baby steps and keep moving up and up, then you will have chances. Then you will have situations where you can constantly improve and make it better.
Just to bring this to a business space, some leaders say, I'm looking for a perfect team to get me this project done. Is there such a thing, having a perfect team?
When we say perfect team, it means a good team in terms of understanding each other. You have confidence that if I delegate one of the team members with marketing, the other team member with taking care of finances, the other team member taking care of publicity, I can bank upon them. I don't have to do everything myself, because what happens is sometimes a leader has to have a group of people who become a team which is doing the task together. Because you could be going around with 10 or 12 people together, but still you don't call yourself a team. You could be a group of rowdy people. You could be a group of people standing on the road watching someone, but it's not a team. But when you say team, that means you believe in each other. You can entrust each other with responsibilities and bank upon that it's going to be done well by A, B, C, and D. So perfect team would be in terms of understanding, mutual trust, banking upon other person that if he gives the task, I'm sure it will be done on time.
And if you don't have a good team, how do you develop a team?
So to develop a team, it is important to first have those teething problems. And since these days we work in international environment, there's a lot of cultural diversity. So bank upon it, try to take the best from other cultures, try to take the best from other team members who come from varied or different backgrounds. So whatever is a plus or positive point in their culture, try to take it, nourish it. And whatever is not so good, try to integrate it with other cultures which have those positive things. So we need to nourish just as we nourish a plant. Sometimes go outside, having team picnics or team events where you tend to understand others better. Because when you're in relaxed conditions, you tend to see the other behavior of your team members as well. So you know how you can work together as a stronger team, as key players. Because once you know the real behavior, you can channelize it in a much better way. And you can work on it in a much stronger way.
And what about the folks that have virtual teams? How can they bring those team members to work cohesively together?
For virtual teams, of course, we have to be a bit sensitive to the timings, like what is more convenient, what is more better for other people also when they're in good state of mind, so that they are fully awake and they're with us, and be sensitive in terms of, when they have some festivals going on or some special events going on. Try to give them leverage, try to give them space. Don't overpower so much, even though they are virtual, but sometimes when you give too many deadlines, it could be a bit overwhelming. So we have to be a bit understanding. We have to empathize with them in those conditions and make them feel that even though it's a virtual, but we are together. Constantly give them, when it's some nice event or it's birthdays or something, send messages. Have that connection, not that when you are talking or when you're having a Zoom meeting or when you're having a conference, then you show concern, but you should have that continuity. So emotional connection has to be there with your team members so that they feel connected. They don't feel that it's just a connection when you're having the virtual meeting or when you're having a virtual conference, but you have some connectivity via emails or via messages from time to time to show your concern and show that you think about them.
I'd like to ask you another question about reinvention. So obviously when you left India and you came to Switzerland, you had to, in some respect, reinvent yourself. And I was wondering, why do you think that reinvention is so important?
Well, because you are coming from another country. If you are coming from, for example, I came from India and I was always living in that shell. I'm from India, I'm an Indian, I do this, I do that, and not doing much to integrate myself here in Switzerland. I wouldn't be learning. I wouldn't be evolving. I would be in that shell only. So to learn, to adapt, it is good to be ethnocentric, where you say my culture is good, but at the same time, you have to open your arms and nourish yourself with best things from other culture as well. Because you have come here. Switzerland didn't come there. I came here. So I have to make the first move. I need to adapt and I need to keep on evolving myself in order to emerge a better person and see how I can be helping the people here, not just thinking about myself or thinking about what I'm doing, what I have done, what I can do for my country. That's fine. You have to think about your country, but at the same time, you have to give also. So as a good person, I think the place where you live, you have to give also as a corporate social responsibility. So my way of giving back to the society is in terms of doing charities or going to the old age home. And I just made this group that's called Réseau Interculturel des Femmes. I took the initiative of creating this network where women who are kind of a bit shy, they're coming from refugee countries, some of them they have refugee status, and some of them they are very well established. So I'm trying to bridge a gap between them. So my role is to have monthly meetings where I connect these women and try to make them useful for each other, like the people who already have something. So these women, they can provide them with some tasks, some temporary jobs, or give them some kind of training. I did a couple of workshops with them, which normally are expensive, but when I'm doing with them, I don't charge anything. Or the other women, when they do these kind of workshops or these kind of trainings, they don't charge. We just do it on voluntary basis. So we are trying to help them express themselves without any fear and play our role as significant members of the society. I call it like sisterhood community.
And that's very wonderful because fear can hold us back.
Yes, we need to work on it. As I said, nothing is easy or nothing is possible just with flip of a finger. We need to work on it. And with these women also, we do have some difficulties because not all of them speak English as well as French. So sometimes we are struggling with sign language. I always tell them, try to communicate in such a way that come out of the shell. Do not be afraid. Just express yourself. We are a group of sisters here. Nothing is going to go wrong. We try to talk to them in such a way that they are out of that fear and they are free. Because I feel if you're free, you can express yourself very well. When you know you're not being monitored, you're not being observed, you express yourself better rather when I tell you that there is a camera or we are recording it or there's something that is monitoring you, then they can't express themselves. They just sit very quietly.
So you're a very inclusive and generous leader. And I was wondering, why are these two traits so important in leadership?
Well, leadership is something that you have to give to people, like give. If you believe in giving, not controlling, people will just come with you. People will just be a part of your group. So if you're a dictator or if you are a person who is control freak, or trying to make people do something, you have to do, you got to do this. You're kind of using your power to make them do it. Of course they will do, because as a professor, I've seen some professors, they give them some tasks to the students, which students just do for the heck of doing. When I give some task, I empathize with my students, whether they'll be able to do it or not. So as a leader, it is important, constantly empathize with the people around you, with the people with whom you are working. Think, can they do it? Will it be feasible for them? Is it something that is possible? If it is possible, if it is under your control, then yes, it will happen. And to explain this, the professor always gives my acronyms. And for leaders also, I have something fun. So leaders are the people who help you to learn, where L starts for learn. E, empower. A, allocate resources, because they give you the small things here and there, and ultimately you have to take it and nourish it and do what you want to do. Then D stands for dedication. Dedicated in their task, they have to dedicate their time to their teams, to nourish them, to empower them and give them the feeling, guys, you are good, go on, you will rock it. Those kind of words. So dedicate time to your team. Then E, educate, because some people, they like to follow. They're not born with very high leadership qualities, so they just are happy following. So if as a leader you are educating them, they are good to go. They need someone to give them that nourishment. Go from here, and they take it and then they move on. And R stands for resources. So educate the resources, which are wonderful, because you can't have the same leader for all situations, because everyone is different. Everyone has to have certain strong areas, certain powerful areas or expertise. So you have to have the resources that you can lead them, and using those resources significantly, which is S. So leaders, as I said, are the people who help you, I'll just say acronym at a glance, in learning, empowering, allocating resources, dedicating their time and energy, educating the masses, giving the resources significantly. So that's leaders for you.
That's truly wonderful. Very nice. And any final thoughts for us?
On a final note, I'd like to share with people listening to us that just believe in yourself, because if you believe in yourself, you know what kind of person you are, you know your plus, you know your minus. Move on. Accept people with their flaws, accept people with their difficulties, their strong areas, their weak areas. If people are weak around you, try to convert those weaknesses to strengths. That's how you will show your leadership skills. It's not by just taking the positive things or just the good people or, as you said, bright team or strong team or great team. You need to create that. Don't expect to have a great team or a powerful team. As a leader, you need to create that. You need to make that magic work together with the people, because if you are good, people will just follow you. People will do the task very well. But if you think the magic will happen on its own, it's not possible. So as a leader, help people nourish, help people enjoy their plus and minus, and nourish it every day.
And what is your mission in life?
My mission in life is to lead and educate some like-minded people who are ready to learn, to move on, to keep on going. Like right now, I'm constantly on my mantra of emotional intelligence and women empowerment. I'm working tirelessly on these two areas because these are the areas which are taken for granted. People think, okay, women empowerment, it's this. Or emotional intelligence, everyone is intelligent, or everyone is high or low, But I am on my mission to educate more and more people around the world with my talks, with my speeches, with my small workshops here and there, so that more and more people become emotionally intelligent and support each other. Because when it's crisis, people just lose everything. They just don't take care of the things properly. But if you are calm, if you know yourself, if you just take the things as it is, if you have a good control over your emotions, you know how to manage your emotions, then you can lead any group. Then you can make any person work willingly, not forcefully, willingly. So these two are my mission in life: educate more and more people, create like-minded people together, and lead a team where everyone is supporting each other.
And how can people learn more about you, contact you?
Anyone who wants to contact me or anyone who wants to know more about me, they are free to get in touch with me on my Facebook page, which is Ruby Bakshi Khurdi, my name, international speaker. They are free to contact me, and if at all I can do something, I'll be very happy.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Professor Ruby, for being a guest.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Biana, for inviting me and sharing this platform for me. I'm really happy and really fortunate that I could say all these things with you on a platform which is so well recognized and so prestigious. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our very special guest was Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Leadership with Biana Kovic Show. Remember that you're all leaders in your own rights, and the impact that you're meant to achieve starts with small acts of kindness, curiosity, and generosity. Please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you again, and until next time.